Hi Ian, lovely to meet up with you and spend some time with you on the range. As promised, quick recap on the key points that we covered. I mean, really it was all about for you controlling this lift during the backswing. We talked a little bit about the downswing, particularly the through swing, controlling what pressure point number 4 is doing. So we put the glove under the left arm, spent a little bit of time working on that to tie up the through swing. We also put the glove under the right arm. Now, the importance for you of the glove under the right arm is that there's in the past maybe been a tendency to lift to the top. Whenever you get a player lifting to the top, you get the left shoulder working up, the extension kicks in without the left tilt to offset it, and consequently we get that lift out of the box. Now, if we watch here at the start of your session, this is the first swing that you made, or the first swing that we videoed. You can see that from P2 to P4 that lift kicks in very early and is quite substantial. There's a little bit of flex being maintained in this trail leg, and we just lack a little bit of hip turn at that point. So what we talked about was keeping the pressure point under the right arm. So pressure point 5, right arm against the rib cage, about 3 levels down, and try to still feel that you're going to propel the butt of the club as far as you can. Now you can see when you do that, the little lift that we have doesn't kick in as soon. It starts to kick in at about P3 now, whereas before it was kicking in from P2 and it was kicking in quite substantially, whereas now it kicks in from about P3 and doesn't kick in quite as much. Now if we look at some differences here now, we have a little bit more tilt in the shoulders. Couple of degrees extra tilt in the shoulder, so the left shoulder is working down for longer, and it needs to offset the extra extension that we're getting. So you've done a good job in that. The trail knee has straightened out substantially more, so you've let go of the flex in the trail knee, which has allowed the left knee to flex forward for longer, creating a bigger hip turn, and also the hips are turning on a more tilted angle than you were before. So when we talked about the extension in the backswing, it's not all in the thoracic, it's not all about just the extension in the spine. In this case, if we just get rid of most of these lines, in fact let's get rid of all of them. If the left knee was to flex forward more, the left shoulder would work down more, and that in turn would make it easier for you to maintain your inclination to the ground. And that's what we're seeing here down on the bottom right. We're seeing a player who's got a much better linkage system, the trail legs straightening sooner, which is allowing the left knee to flex for longer, which is allowing the pelvis to extend and allowing the left shoulder to work down to offset the extension. There's a lot of good things in this swing, Ian. The big thing for you is working on the correct piece as it's appropriate to your ball flight. So we've started to reduce the amount that you lift during the backswing by sticking a glove under the right arm, improving pressure point, paying attention to pressure point 5 a little bit more, trying to propel the butt of the club further whilst doing that. That's encouraged more straightening of the right leg, more flexing of the left knee, and in turn control what the left shoulder is doing. The other thing we talked about was your takeaway. We just touched on this when we went in the studio. The club does tend to roll behind you. Now, I'm not too worried about this piece at the moment, but in subsequent sessions I would like to tidy up what we do from P1 to P2. There's a little bit too much loading of accumulator 3. Now if you want to work that in, there's one of the guys who I've worked with called Chris Simpson, who's worked quite a lot on this over the years. If you go to my channel, type in the name Chris Simpson and go to his very first recap. You'll see that we've done a lot of work. If you follow his journey, if you will, you'll see that we've done a lot of work on this piece, and that'll give you some insight into the changes that are required. So like I said, great to see you. Hopefully bump into you again throughout the course of the season. Good luck with it, and please keep me posted. Well done.